Hello, Charles. Nice to meet you in cyberspace. This will be some feedback, video feedback on your first deliverable, which is the printed ad. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We've got 4 weeks to go. I bid you strength. Charles, it's great that you've given us two choices, and I see that you've done one of them in Photoshop and the other in Illustrator. And that's good, to have the kind of flexibility to go from one program to the other. Print is generally prepared in a page layout program. Oftentimes it is something like InDesign. And it can also be prepared in usually a vector program like Illustrator. Don't generally tend to print files that are with type, that are pixel-based. So Photoshop is not the preferred editor for things that involve type, but it's fine. That it's good that you're able to flip-flop back and forth between the two programs. So this arrangement, there's a couple things I like about it. There's a couple things that I think could be improved. I like this shape that looms up here. It reflects, the jagged edge of the amethyst crystal in the logo. Be careful about your margins. I would probably have this shape bleed off. It's a little severe, being filled with black. And I almost think of, maybe like an apartment complex with hints of the corporate color in the sky. So I think I'm favoring your second option, or maybe it's the first. But I do like this shape that looms up, maybe if it was filled with something else. So to go to your second, and also I'm glad you've considered some type here. I like your arrangement. I think it's probably taken from the style guide, right? And just in general, be careful of your margins. Print ads get trimmed, so you don't want type or any essential information to come too close to the trimmed edge. Also, print ads, they have a gutter. You would know if you bought ad space in a magazine, whether it would be a left or a right-hand page, probably. But, just be aware that in most bound publications, some of the information disappears in what's called the gutter, and that is the bound edge. Charles, I really like this as your second iteration because it removes all of the sort of cell block-like implications of the building, and then you've made it this nice purple cast, plus this Japanese garden. This is very skillful. I like the way that you tapered this or feathered this out, the middle ground. And the luminosity around the logo, it's okay. It reflects some of the softer shapes in the middle ground and the clouds. Again, for the same reasons I mentioned earlier, be careful about having a border come so close to the edge because tolerances, vary a little bit, and so you might get more or less of a border here. It might even get nicked off than you would at the top and side. So I would either not use the border or move it in. Charles, it looks like you have a handle on layers in Illustrator, and I see that you have these things grouped. Really nice, easy to turn on or off. You might consider, for example, here a corporate color in that kind of severe, jagged shape. And let's see what we got here. Maybe a tint or something to go with your. Again, a little severe, a little gray. But I think the second iteration, you might try this shape. I don't have much else to say. Think about slogans or taglines, some type. Think large, think simple. I wouldn't be too complicated. But in this week, you'll be manipulating type, and you don't have to incorporate it into your print ads, whatever you result in this week. But you might consider it. It might need that, typical of advertising, that slogan. And I've given you some resources in the feedback to look at, I think, which might help you. Take a look at professionally designed print ads if you can. Almost all of this stuff is available on the web, so I'm not suggesting that you go out and buy magazines. Although if you are in a place that has them, you might want to browse them. All right, Charles, this is probably haven't covered everything, but it gives you some ideas of direction to go.